Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the Compassionate, the Merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and the blessings of God be upon all of you, brothers and sisters. First of all, I would like to congratulate you on the arrival of the month of Sha'ban, the 8th month of our lunar calendar, and the month that is associated with the name of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this month a blessed month for all of you, and for Him to shower us and bestow on us health and wealth, so we live this month healthy to witness and fast the coming month of Ramadan, as the narration says, Allahumma barik lana fi Sha'ban wa ballighna Ramadan. I also ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this month an opportunity for us to get rid of this troublesome pandemic that has affected the whole world. As second of all, I would like to say, I miss you, all of you, brothers and sisters. I really miss the Jumu'ah sermon, I miss the community, and I miss the community center. And I know sitting at home is not the best thing to do, but there are a variety of ways for us to make sitting at home a better opportunity. First of all, we are obliged to protect ourselves. Protecting ourselves, our lives, and those around us is mandatory upon all of us. So we have to stay at home and protect ourselves. And there are ways to entertain ourselves. For example, help your spouse cook food throughout the day. Give her time to rest, or give him time to rest, and you do the cooking. For example, I'm preparing a meal for tomorrow, and hopefully it will be a very delicious meal. You can enjoy a pet at your home. That's also a very interesting place, I think, to do. Unfortunately, our pet is sleeping right now. We didn't want to abuse it. So, brothers and sisters, we know this is a very troublesome time, and we are living at very odd times, don't we? It is very strange how our daily life has changed dramatically only within a few weeks. All businesses, places of worship, schools and colleges, theaters, offices, and many other places has shut down. Entire cities, states, and countries are locked down. This is very strange. I never thought one day I will deliver a digital message instead of Friday sermon. But this is the reality. We need to accept it and live with it. And this pandemic reminds me with a very old story. Probably you have heard this story many times, but it's nice to remind ourselves with this story. It says there was a farmer who had a rooster. He lost the rooster, and his neighbor noticed that there is no more morning a crow for the rooster. So he went to his neighbor, the farmer, and told him, "This is bad, you lost your rooster, I'm sorry for that." The farmer said, "Good or bad, only God knows." The next day the rooster came back, not alone, but with 4 hens. The neighbor saw the rooster and the 4 hens, so he came back to the farmer and said, "Oh God, this is really good. Your rooster came back with 4 hens." The farmer said, "Good or bad, only God knows." The day after, the hens laid down eggs, and the farmer's son ate those eggs, and somehow he got sick. The neighbor saw the son very sick. He came to the farmer and said, "I'm sorry, this is really bad. Your son got sick." The farmer repeated his sentence. Good or bad, only God knows. The next day, the king's soldiers came to the village looking for young men to take them to the army. And when they saw the farmer's son sick, they spared him and left the village. The neighbor came to the farmer very happy, said, "Oh, I'm glad, this is really good. I'm glad that your son is spared from going to the war." The farmer said, "Good or bad, only God knows." Well, today we see the ugly face of this pandemic. And it is indeed very ugly. Thousands of lives have been lost during this period, and it's counting. We do not know how many more will be lost. Every one of us has learned a lesson during this time. One of the lessons I learned, brothers and sisters, that no one should wish this calamity to fall on anyone, including his or her enemy, because they never know what is going to happen tomorrow. They might be the next person. And this pandemic is a best testimony for this fact. This pandemic started in China, later in Iran, and today New York and Los Angeles are grappling with it. So this is a lesson that we learn. Second, what I learned, the Holy Quran says, وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسُبُ غَدًا. No soul knows what is going to earn tomorrow. Our life is associated with uncertainty. We really do not know what is going to happen tomorrow. Only God knows. So far, we know about the loss, but you have possibly heard in the media that in areas the pollution has dropped down. In many rivers and lakes, the marine life has returned, and in many crowded cities, now they can hear the birds' songs. Of course, that does not make up for the loss of thousands of lives, but this is just one aspect of it. Again, I pray that God protects all of you and to protect the humanity from this calamity. And number three, what I have learned, never take things for granted. Who would ever think that one day we should live in total isolation? We cannot shake hands. We have to stay in line to get some food, hours maybe in line to get some food or bread. Countries have spent billions of dollars to enhance their security, including airport securities. Our administration has established a new branch of our armed forces and named it U.S. Space Force. This is all to enhance the nation's security. But look what happened. The threat is not from nuclear attacks or terrorist attacks or cyber attacks. It is from a tiny creature that is even not seen in the naked eye. So we should not take things for granted. The only reality in this world is God. To God we seek refuge, and from Him we seek protection and strength. To end my digital presentation today, I wish you a blessed Friday. This is not a substitute for Friday sermon. After this, if you hear it during afternoon or during noon, you just pray noon prayer at your homes and at the comfort of your homes. I would like to strongly encourage you, brothers and sisters, each one of you, to recite Ayatul Kursi 4 times every morning. Before you go to work, if you're still going to work, or before you eat your breakfast. Ayatul Kursi is verse number 255 at the second chapter of the Quran. There is a narration, divine narration, that you've heard me repeating it many times. It says that God says, when somebody recite Ayatul Kursi one time, God sends one angel to protect him or her, 2 times 2 angels, 3 times 3 angels, 4 times God says, I will take care of the protection and the safety of that person. So please recite Ayatul Kursi with 2 more verses, verse 256 and 257 of chapter Al-Baqarah, the second chapter of the Quran. This is for your protection. And finally, I would like to congratulate you on the 3rd day, on the occasion of the 3rd day of Sha'ban, the birthday of our beloved Imam Hussein, the beloved grandson of our beloved Prophet. May Allah protect you all. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you.